Hey mateys, this is Hey mateys, guys. Happy Merry Christmas. Christmas Day. Today's Wednesday, November 23rd, November 23rd, November 24th. So I'm gonna check it out for sheets when my iPad is still on. Yeah, there it is. Okay, it's dead. I'll be right back, guys. Sorry about that, guys. Hello, mateys. This is Gilbert Skeleton, Pirates of the Caribbean film series here. Captain Simon Perryman, and that one should be mostly streaming today. It's a little bit confused. Today is Wednesday, December 25th, 2019. Merry Christmas. It's Christmas Day, so we're just gonna have it about the conversation for you guys. I created for the turkey ham mashed potatoes, cornbread with mashed potatoes and dressing, and green beans and casseroles, and with the mushrooms on it with the cheese. So we went to the Star Wars, The Rise of the Skywalker, Skywalker on Kent and the AMC. 2 hours and 22 minutes. Pretty good movie, just like Disney Plus movie, The Mandalorian, the Star Wars story. So the following producer stars, that could be one of the discoveries. That's a good interesting. Having fun for the movies for after the movie. So I just have the conversation too about, we're just telling you the guys about my mom and sister and brother and dad, and about some arguing each other and about for the living rooms and dining rooms. So she was completely freaked out. She was messed up on the floor, including stairs, his room, and my room is all okay. And her daughter was slammed under the door. Then she opens the door without heat up for reasons, and that could be unacceptable for the last couple of months, last 30 months ago. She's listening to her music, and my brother was hearing for Bella, and I think Frankie was very late today. He was completely out of it. She was completely scared of Dad, when he gets picked up in about last 2 months. So Frankie and Bella and Mom and Dad was worried for me, and they worry about me. So everybody worries about Bella. Everybody wants to worry about Frankie, and everybody wants to worry about Dad. And everybody once worried about my mom. So she thought she's really mad about Bella and Frankie and Dad, when she did not do anything for me. So I've been vacuum. I just sweep out for the garage. I sweep out for the garage from the house to the outside. Then Bella was almost crying with sorrow in the morning, and so I've been into sorrow over about last 16 years. I've been about some hundreds of thousand times. Then be right back. Be right back to be continued. Conversation to you. Even she walks upstairs, she'll slam a door. The slam a door with about 50% without he's heating up. So they are heating up each other, and I was heating up for about just to cool down in about a couple of years ago, about last 9 years, almost last 10 years. Then even thought my dad just Dad and I just meet with Mrs. Roy and Mrs. Carson, Mrs. Van Gorkum, Mrs. King, Mrs. Meg, Miss Birkinshaw, and Miss Isabella, and Mrs. Garlic, and Mrs. Groover. She was a memory. She was gone now, so I thought of the Mr. Roy, and she moved to a different elementary school. Mr. McDonaldson, the grade teacher for the 6th grade class. Mr. Madison, Mr. Howard, Mrs. Smith, Mrs. Grace, Mrs. Dahl, Mrs. Sprague, and Mr. Warren, and Miss Rosa. So they started a good elementary school staff and teacher, then included the speech therapy for Miss Hawkinson's. I've been in therapy about 30 minutes ago. I was working in the environment today. What I had to do something about. So I'm losing weight. I think Dario, Frankie, Bella, and Juliet call me a fat, and this is good. And call me a fat for no reasons. Then yeah, she says okay. She said okay. Go ahead. Stay here. Stay outside. Stay home for the 3 days. I didn't do anything wrong, so he kicked me out. He almost kicked me out for the reason about 3 days ago. That's illegal to stay out there about for 3 days ago for spend the night. I've been called a crazy. I'm looking for the crazy. I'm looking about this about homeless and Berkeley Berkeley in his place. That's illegal issues in the environment today. So during the wellness policy on violations. So I think Mom, Frankie, and Bella was almost abandoned me for no reasons. Maybe except for the dad, and maybe except for the dad needs to the heart, and maybe except for the Dario need to be hurry up. And Frankie decidedly that it came home from some schools, some college, some class, and some works in an association employees from the former target. That's my issues. Even thought Bella was considering about Arts Institute College in about 2, 3, and 4 years. 2, 3, and 4 years. It's couldn't part of ways and about the Pierce College. And basically, Frankie was part of ways and about Pierce College for the last 6 years. And that's the departure for the 2012 through 2017. And my departure is an advanced program in 2014 through 2016. And my departure to part of ways at about Walmart for 4 months ago. And Bella's considered about apple teriyaki in about 1 year ago. She concerned about house fire, looking about restaurant on house fires in the house fires. So she knew that what is going on there with the employee. She was escaped from inside there. So they call Central Pierce and the firefighters. Then they call the rescuers, ambulance, police, sheriff, and patrol. So however what happens, some people watching over it about reapplicated to some 1-year mortgage. Sometimes she raised it about bento sushi from Meridian. I think Julia was looking for the look around to about fruit salad bar on the Safeway. I usually bear drive down there on the closer end of the river road. Then right beside it about the 2 years mortgage into the advanced program on the 2 years of job sites. Then mortgage in 2 years ago. So I usually meeting my former friends. So there was a incentive to move out to outer states for the 50 with them, the US. From here to Canada, from my former friends was move out to the Canada, Hawaii, Alaska, and including the country. Then Jordan was new dating a new girl, and her sister was hang out for the best buddies and friends. She knows me for last 3 years ago. She been graduated to the WSU in about 4 years ago. 4 years in the mortgage. Might she can be. Brooke has 5 years. She was Crimson. She was a WSU football on cheerleading, and including those guys and girls have Crimsons. She's concerned about sometimes. So, in concluding for men's and women's basketball, and those guys, the football team, and then and those were how hardest of it against the UW Huskies. Even though Mackenzie was a mention of Bella, even though Carly is, Mia, and even though Jessica has I don't know what Jessica has about the Huskies, and Andre has Christopher. They are married they're married to the outdoors in the church, and she loves to the Disneyland still for the Anaheim, California. It might be discovered to I wanted to discover to for the Andre to addresses to it about her husband. Then I didn't get the messengers to for the Andres, so her name was Noah Christopher. He's a great guy in about 6 foot to 5 inches. Then so it might be. So Eva thought Jordan was married, Kelsey was engaged with Ryan, and Rachel was engaged too. She's in California to move out from here. Then Maddie was discovered to married to multiply with from the one for the getter about next year for to get the child. Then mostly all this people gets about for the child. They should have many children for them. So Bella didn't get married yet. So Frankie didn't get this date for the getting married and engaged and married yet. Then Julia and Dario, this is my mom and dad. So they get split up for about separated those party ways about 14 years. They were done now. Then they guys talked about they were explaining themselves each other. Then I usually, when you taken for, I was just thought about Donovan's discovered to for the 5 years of mortgage, and she works to with the cyclones and garbage bins, to the card pushers and associate managers. I seen them, but about long time ago. Eva Jerry was out, and she doesn't work for the card pushers anymore. So she was a good friend. So I might barely use to talk to those guys, to those girls and those children's, and they have a dog. They have dogs and cats inside. So I just look around to see the wildlife in the forest, and I wanted it to make sure all the animals, to make it clear. And I walk up there to the shortcut. I walk over the hill, close enough from the Bradley Lake Park, then cross the street for the Pierce College and the Frigid Junior High School Boulevard, crossing the street right there on the Manor. So I look for Andre with his mom and dad, her sister. Then she decided to see one of these guys. So they came in nearby. Then so basically Chris and Justin, Josh, Uncle Corey, and Janae Mo and Shane Moffat, and this is my aunt, and my aunts, my uncles, and my cousins. And then they moved to Villaggio, Compton, San Bernardino, Bernardino, and Tualatin, Beaverton, Portland, Vancouver, San Diego, Los Angeles, Anaheim, San Francisco, Oakland, San Diego, Sacramento, Travis Air Force Base. Then San Diego has an air base, so they have an Air Force. My friend Alex just been joining about for 10 years, joining about the 10 years of service. She's been almost about 6 years past. He married Elizabeth, and they were having a child next year. And then they do have one child, and then next year. And my deceptionally, and the best of my friends for the last 12 years. Then even Goy, Marcus, Derek, Alexis, Alea, Grace. Even Carly has came in nearby the YMCA for the workout gyms. Then Mackenzie Stills WSU for Christmas Day with Cameron. Then she came back after the graduation in the last 4 years. She's going back working on the debacle for those guys and friends. Then Crystal moved to work on the Allstate Insurance and Spanaway. And she works a lot. She works about last 2 years ago. She concerned those lady with the supervisor of the buckle. She got a baby. She got a concern about sometimes. Maybe I look for Mackenzie, so his dad was posted with his pictures about fishing and hunting. he has a license. He has a hunting, fish and hunting license. They have good reason to show those guys and the conservation officers. Washington State Fish and Wildlife. They have it. They have it around about to look around, make sure to see the blacktails, to see the deers, bears, coyotes, wolves, cougars, lynxes, and bobcats, and ducks, and mullet, the ducks and goose, and the birds shooking, and the birds, the wild foxes. Wanted to stay outside for about wildlife for around the country, for around those highways and countries, and maybe included crossing the streets. It could be in danger there for about moose and elks and caribou, bisons. They have a bisons, and they have a woods and plains. Two things only. What about wood bisons, plains bisons, musk oxen? They should be around to the Canada, Alberta. They have a Yukon Valley, Alaska. They have a wolf. They have a gray wolf, white wolf, black wolf, and brown wolf. That's the 4 species about the wolf's predator. All packs. Really dangerous, really careful. So they wanted to stay inside of this house, and trapping for the traffic inside the traffics. We definitely can't afford one to interrogation without the petting deers, petting elks, petting moose, petting wolf, and petting coyote. That should be illegal. That should be illegal. They have about the same thing, the same time. Even thought people in the traffic even thought stopping while the deer is crossing, including elk herd was crossing the street. And every morning, noon, afternoon, and night, it supposedly for the cars, with the cars straight for the headlights. So they have a light on the street for the 60 miles per hour on the patrolways. The perception is 50 miles per hour for the county ways. Then, although let me take my sweater off, it just makes me warm. Even though mom takes Jack and Dory a walk, looks like we're looking around to staring with the ducks, and he's chased off by Jack and Dory. Dory didn't run off, so even though Jack is out of the control while they almost chasing the ducks away, he was flying up there. Even thought goose, so even thought of the black-tailed does and the bucks. I feel different. I just stopped for the walk slowly, and I just took the pictures of about a couple of months, the last 2 months and 3 months. Frankie was stopped while he's in the driving, and he saw the doe. And he was thinking about the deer was and the doe. She is pretty cute and beautiful. Then she walks into the wildlife in the forest. She was welcoming the crossing the Bradley Park in the tracks, and it's about railway tracks and houses and Pierce College ways, and even thought neighborhood house just seemed about didn't have the security cameras all around the house. Then so what else they didn't buy the security cameras in there. So even my mom's very dangerous, important. Even thought about moms will be becoming more reporter thing. Then she concerns my mom's concerns. She think about Bella and Julia was altogether was looking for a left there. There's about the wild deer just eating at the grass. They're just eating, just attentive, just staring and alerting, without alarming and running. Bella just nearly just scare off with the deer. She does. I didn't scare off by the buck. I didn't scare off, so I just crossed it there for the street. So while he was the deer just running and jump around to running and trotting around this way left and straight. Then so Frankie was stopped while he was driving. There is about the doe just crossed the street. I mean, he didn't hit the deer. So I just definitely saw the three does just eating at the grass, just resting in place. Then I left her to the big doe. Then still black-tailed deers, including white-tails and chain name, and they have a mule deer. And as closely cute that I am, then I mostly my dad and I listen to my dad, my sister, my mom and dad, and Frankie and Bella and I just look for a deer. So I told him, say, hey, don't chase off the deer. Don't chase off the deer. Hey, you're not supposed to chase the deer. She's illegal to chase off of the deer. So she's illegal to chase off of the wild animals. So she literally just chasing off without dogs. My two dogs, Jack and Dory, just run off the barking and alarming while they staring for the deer was eating of the food. Then how did it discover to the deer species in Washington? That's where the deer are here. So but I think I stopped, but I can't move while I've seen it the does closer than nearby for the last 2 years. Wildwood Park. I just filming those videos about 2 years ago. Even though I just stopped running while I was either deer again, every day, every week, every month, every year. Every deer is so nice and pretty cute. Thought about raccoon in the night. So my aunt and her dog was pretty just scared away by the big one. The raccoon was male, the female just mates, and they were so attentively, and I would say, yeah, I don't know, I just told they told the cops. So they're the dead raccoon. The Fish and Game just take the raccoon away and the dead deer away. So and just take the deer away from out of the safety spots there to the spots when they have the white lines in the streets. They always took the Fish and Game, so or sheriff, and in the county sheriff officers just Billy is good. Billy was a great cop. It's a great sheriff. So cops and sheriff and patrols. Then sometimes they never have it again. So I was gonna talk about those guys. So dressing would be done in about just a couple of minutes. So I'm gonna say Merry Christmas for everybody. Stretching my body stretching my arms and backs and my shoulders and deltoes and my necks. That should be good, excellent. That should be great and excellent. Alright guys, don't forget to hit the button to subscribe to more content. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Google, Find Cameras, and Cock's Story, Cock's Dog. Likes and comments and links in the description. So please, don't forget to Tumblr and Tumblrs, and please subscribe on Ronda Rousey, WWE, UFC, Derek Diesel, Lucas Band, Space Jam's Gardens, Nesboog, and Latino Cornejo, The Boog Show, and Majorga Nuggets, Big Brother, Psycho Dad, Larry's Lounge, and Jordy Starburger. So, tentatively, guys, don't forget to watch Majorga Nuggets on Psycho Kid, Torches Christmas Tree. It's illegal, and this should be illegal to torches the Christmas tree. That's really bad. That could be really, really bad. So feel free to watch this. Don't forget, so keep it rich, mates. Merry Christmas. See you tomorrow.